Hello, this is Telmir, and welcome to another repair video. In this video, we're looking at this iPhone 11 Pro. We've worked on it before in the past, but the customer has been complaining about a bit of an issue. The speaker's not sounding exactly right, as well as the port not fitting correctly. So that is something we can test immediately. Let's check out that port and just see what it's doing. Alright, there's our amp meter. Now, what we were saying is something about the cable rocking a little bit. Oh, come on. They're just being picky. It is low on a charge, but it feels like the port does need a little bit of a cleaning. It's not terrible, though. It's also taking a proper charge as well. Its amperage is quite good. It's charging properly. It's currently at about a little over 1 amp. Now, before we can continue on testing this phone, we got to get a little bit more battery into this. But that little bit of a rocking motion that it has, it's pretty easy to clean out. You just got to get yourself some tweezers, preferably some finer tweezers. These are a little bit on the thick side. That'll work, but I prefer the ones that are even finer than this. Really, precision tweezers is what you need, preferably stainless steel. So I've got my stainless steel precision tweezers, and I do see some material at the very back of the port. Now, when you're cleaning out these ports, you just got to make sure when you're looking inside that the pins are on the top, not the bottom. And I can see them right there. I don't know if you guys can see them, but the pins currently are on this side, not the bottom. It's really important because you can damage those pins while you're working on this. So I'm just going in there with the tweezers, and I'm just going to give that a quick cleaning. It's really not that dirty. I mean, there's some gunk in it, but nothing to warrant the complaint that she had. This is warranty work, not for me, but for somebody that I do a lot of work for that sells phones. And he sold this phone to a customer of his own, and she complained about the fact that the port was a little bit wiggly. A little bit. It was it was very wiggly. That wasn't sitting properly, and as you could clearly see, it was barely wiggling. So yeah, she's just being super picky. Now, a lot of times CREP technicians will have somebody come and say, oh, there seems to be a problem with my port. It's not sitting properly, or it's not charging properly. And they'll immediately say, oh, you need a new charge port, without doing any testing or anything. And even though they know that very likely all it does need is a clean, and they'll say that, and they'll charge a real hefty fee. And then they go back into their shop and they do exactly what I'm doing here, cleaning out the port. Then they come back around, they charge the customer a fortune for a charge port that was never replaced in the first place. So you just gotta keep an eye on that. If you guys aren't technicians yourselves and you're getting somebody to go and do some work on your phone to replace a charge port, just have an eye on the charge port itself. Take a look at what it looks like. It should be very clean looking afterwards. If it is a new port, it should look brand new. But if you come back and it still kind of looks dusty but has been given a bit of a clean, you know that they've not replaced that port. Now it's a lot better. Pretty much normal. Now at this point, I can't do anything more. I got to get some battery, some juice into this phone before we can move on to testing those speakers. They do look like they're pretty dirty though, so I won't be surprised if it just needs the grills to be cleaned. Alright, we're in business. We got about 3% charge. So I'm going to go into sounds and haptic, and I'm just going to listen to how this speaker sounds. Yeah, it sounds burnt. Hopefully we can clean this. Otherwise, it's going to be more than just cleaning out the speakers. It may also require that the actual speaker inside needs to be replaced. So this is still a relatively easy task. All I gotta do is just go in there with my tweezers and just clean out the gunk that's in there. And hopefully this hasn't been dropped in like cement or something. So there is some gunk coming out. It's not terrible though. Now these right here, as far as I know, are not speakers at all. They're just a reverb. They're pretty dirty though. I'm just going in there and doing a little bit of a circle. I think I'll take the toothbrush to these. No, I want something a little bit stiffer. I bought this a little while back. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good brush. I don't know what kind of bristles they're using, but man, are they ever stiff. Okay, let's see how that goes. Unfortunately, it does sound still kind of crackly. I'm going to bring up a website, just bring up some music and see how it sounds. Well, I'm at that point where the crackling is still there. I've given a good cleaning so far, just dry cleaning it. Now, dry cleaning. I'm giving it now the 165 hertz treatment. Usually I just do this for a little bit. And this is not usually something I have to do if there's this much air already coming out of the speakers. So I don't believe that this is going to help at all. Usually this is used for when the speakers are super quiet, not when they're like loud, and they are relatively loud. Well, the grill is super clean. Okay. Well, I've been doing that bit for a little while. Let's try that again. That is actually incredibly loud now. It wasn't anywhere near as loud as this. Okay, it is definitely just from that little chunk of ad, a lot louder. I'm going to be doing this test. It's just a Bose demonstration, high quality Dolby Atmos. I don't think I can actually play the song on video because it might get me copyright striked, so I'll cut this bit out. Okay, I'm switching back to the sounds and haptic. That sounds so much better. There's no crackle. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm going to put up some copyright-free music. Put on like dubstep. The reason why I want to use dubstep is because there's a lot of bass in that kind of music. So far, no crackle. It's so loud, it's hurting my ears. So clearly, that seems to have fixed the problem. I believe the cable is doing exactly what I would expect it to do. There doesn't seem to be any favor over one side over the other, and it seems to have done the trick. So sometimes, guys, it can be just as easy as that. Cleaning up the charge port as well as the speaker grill at the bottom. Now this one actually took a little bit more work than I was expecting it to take. So yeah, I did have to use that 165 hertz video as well. I'm going to put a link to that video in the description because I actually use it at least a few times each month to clean out the grills and earpieces on phones. It works extremely well for iPhones. So you can just look in the description. Along with any of the tools that I use in my videos, you will also see my Amazon affiliate links. For any of the tools that I use in this video, you will find links for pretty much all of them there. So if you guys liked the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video.